Hey YouTube, it's Erica, and it's Tuesday, December 30th, 2014, and I'm back to record a very overdue video. Really sorry. I've actually recorded a few videos and they've failed to upload, so I'm hoping that this one takes. Um, okay, so the last video was back, I think before the last Tough Mudder. It was probably July, something like that, and it was my hydrostatic test. So around then I was about in the 148, 149 range, I think, and I think it had gone back down around that time. Anyway, I'm basically the same weight. As of today, I was 149.2. Body fat, I think, was way higher than I want, like 24.5 or something like that. Um, but here's what's going on. Okay, so I think I'll go through quick stats. Started my journey, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy April 2012 at, I think it was 215.6, the lowest weight I've ever achieved. I think I was holding 136, 137 for a while, and I think for a second I saw like 135 and 134. I don't know, maybe one day. But I was at around like the 136, 138 range for a while, and then I got back into the 140s, and I've been bouncing kind of between 143 to 148. Um, I'm I get really nervous when I'm around this weight, but then it'll go back down. So here's what's been going on. So I did Tough Mudder, it was fine. I actually didn't want to do it at all, but I kind of felt like I had to. So it was fine. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was in Tahoe, and so I did it with a bunch of coworkers. We had a cabin, and so it was like this big group bonding thing, and that part of it was awesome. The actual event, I didn't really want to do it, but I did it. And then after that, my weight went back down, and I was like in the low 140, 130, 143 or something. Then it kind of went back up and then went back down. I went on vacation in September. I went to Club Med Turks Caicos, and I had a freaking ball. I met somebody while I was there. Unfortunately, he lives in France, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. But we've been keeping in contact, and it's kind of this very romantic situation. But at the same time, I've got some other endeavors that I'm thinking about as well. So life's been kind of in this big transition stage. So that was September, and then October was a big athletic month. I did a 5K run at the beginning of the month and did fairly well. I think my recorded time tracked me at about a 10-minute mile for, oh no, it was a 10K run. I did the 10K, yeah, not a 5K. It was a 10K run. And I was averaging about 10 minutes per mile, but I used the restroom part of the way through, and I had a line to stand in, so that threw off my time. I think according to my app, my Nike app, I was really under, and then at the very end, my foot was hurting, so I started walking. So my actual running time was probably in the low 9-minute range most of the time. I felt pretty good, except for at the end when my foot started. I think it was the shoe. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. So I've signed myself up for the half marathon of the same rock and roll marathon thing next year. Um, and then I did a 5K mud run, and that was easy. And then in late October, I did a Spartan Super. And so Spartan is very similar to Tough Mudder. It's like running in obstacles and mud and stuff. And this one was in kind of the Sacramento area, and it was 8 miles, I think. And I did it with, I've been doing a boot camp class that I've been really into, and so I did it with the boot camp class, and I was ahead of the group with one other girl, and then at the beginning of the run, we were running on a horse trail, and there were big pits and things, and I was wearing minimus shoes, which means like not a lot of sole. It's basically like you're just running on rubber, like very thin rubber, and it didn't have enough support, and so by about mile 4, one of my knees, which never gives me a problem, started aching. By mile 5, I couldn't run anymore. My partner wasn't going to walk with me, so she continued because she was a beast, and everybody else never caught up somehow. So I continued in pain by the last mile. I was almost crying. I was pretty miserable, but I got through it. And I thought like a weekend off and I'd be fine because I've never had joint issues, and it was pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't like crutches kind of bad. I saw the doctor and she's like, I think it's just soft tissue, didn't like tear anything. So she's like, just take some time off. So I went to a couple workouts and just found I couldn't hang. So I stopped working out and gave it some time. And so since then, and around that time, right after Spartan, I think, I saw like 141. So that was late October. I was about 141. And I was like, I'm going to break the 140s again. And then I couldn't work out. I could have swum for sure. I could have done spin class after probably a couple weeks, but I didn't really want to. And so I just kind of slowly put on weight. You know, I was kind of not really paying too much. I mean, it was holidays, not to make excuses, but I think I'd just been doing so much and working out so much. I was kind of like, I have a break, yay. Well, now I've seen 150 on the scale, and then it won't like set at 150, but I'll see the scale like show 150 and then adjust back just down under in the 140 range, and I'm like, I'm so close to being 150. It's so scary. So back on the wagon. But on Christmas morning, I went for a 2-mile run, and I was slow and I felt kind of chunky, but I got through it. My knee doesn't hurt, so now I can run again. And I'm back to spinning, so that's kind of exciting. This video is for sure going to be over 10 minutes because it's almost 7, and I've got more to talk about. I also went to Hawaii with my mom in December, so it's been kind of a very fortunate few months, I guess. So September was kind of my me vacation, and then December was a bonding trip for me and my mom, and so that was pretty cool. And I did work. I worked in the mornings from about 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. while we were there, so I got some time in doing that. But what was my point? So was on vacation for about 10 days, came back 3 days later. Both of my parents had surgery, which was all planned. It wasn't like surprise surgery. My dad had back surgery. My mom had some dermatology surgery. So from like the 19th on, I've been kind of running back and forth around the Bay Area. And since last Friday, today's Tuesday, since last Friday, I've been able to kind of stay put, which has been nice. But anyway, so that's what's going on there. And when I was on vacation, I got a text message from an old spin instructor buddy of mine who said that they're putting together the winter schedule, and she was recommending that I sign up to be a sub instructor, like a substitute instructor. I got my spin certification about 1.5 years ago, and so I was like, well, I don't know. The day I got back from vacation, I went to the supermarket, ran into a girl who used to be, or a woman who used to be on the bike next to me for the spin class I went to regularly, and I happened to run into her. Never seen her outside of the gym, and 2 days after my old spin instructor emails me, I ran into her. So I felt like the stars were kind of aligning and telling me that I should probably pay attention. So I called the number of the guy who coordinates the instructors and went for an employee orientation, got connected with a spin instructor mentor, and I'm back to taking classes. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to drive a stupid distance to take a class at 5:30 in the morning, so I have to go to bed pretty soon. But anyway, so that's kind of the update on everything going on. So in the next month, I'm hoping to take a bunch of spin classes. I'll get back to my boot camp classes, start running, possibly swimming. I'm getting LASIK surgery next month, so that's pretty exciting. Big non-weight related stuff. I'm thinking very seriously about joining the Peace Corps. I've applied, and I'm under consideration for Namibia, Africa, to teach English, and so I'm kind of doing some things around that for volunteering, and I'm taking an online teaching English as a foreign language, or TEFL certification course. So I actually have to start getting back onto those. I've taken 5 out of the 20 units, so I need to start taking more units now. But anyway, and then I'm also going to start a volunteer thing in January for English ESL and citizenship classes. So it'll give me some experience with teaching and things like that. I need to basically beef up my resume a bit for Peace Corps because I don't have any real skills that they might need in a foreign land. They don't need Excel jockeys. So that's kind of my big next life experience. There are a lot of things that might make me kind of put that on hold. But I feel a very strong calling to get out of the cubicle and serve, I guess, do something more meaningful in my life that adds to humanity. And so that could be its own vlog, I think, in of itself, because there's a lot to that whole story. But anyway, that's a big thing that's going on in my life. So let's see, I'm at 11 minutes. Overall, I'd say I'm about 2.5 years out, and I would say I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm used to who I am in this body. I'm proud of who I am in this body, and I feel like this was the biggest gift that I could have given myself. It's going to be a struggle, I think, my entire life. I still have an issue in relationship with food that's not healthy. Even if I can only eat a certain amount, I still get, I don't know if other people feel like this, but that addiction side, if you're doing anything, your mind thinks about food. If you want a treat, if you're just out and about and you feel like you haven't eaten in a while and you feel like you deserve something, it's about food and not about any other type of non-food reward that might be healthier. And so that part of me is still there, and it will never, I think, go away. I don't think. I do other healthy things for myself, which I think has, you know, being always being having one foot in the door of fitness my whole life, I think has really helped me in this journey because I don't have any kind of, I'm really strong, I'm fit, I know how to push myself physically, and I know what that feels like, and so I think having the capacity to do it now is just helpful. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I think I've been given a set of skills in my past before having weight loss surgery that helps me now that I'm in a body where I can do more than I ever would before. I worked out before, I guess is what I'm saying. I obviously not all the time or else I wouldn't have been fat, but I knew what it was like, what it took to push myself. I knew the feeling of working hard, and maybe everybody does, but I don't think so. I'm babbling. Not really sure what my point is. Um, Other things. I'm trying to think of like pearls and gems of insight into life. Um, I definitely feel like things have, there's this a cycle. Now I'm thinking more about giving back and what the meaning of my life really is and what I can do to give to the world to kind of make my mark. And I think had it, a year ago, I was very cognizant of being very selfish about my looks, my clothes, my everything. And I'm always that way. I was like that when I was chunky. I'm going to be like that when I'm, older, whatever. That's just part of me. I just like um, clothes and shoes and hair and makeup. Um, but I think that there's something else in me that's now able to surface. Like I've kind of gone through that phase, and the novelty of being hot and fit it'll never be old, but it's not a novelty anymore. Like it's just who I am. But who else am I? Like that's great. I'm relatively successful professionally. Um, I look good, I'm healthy, I'm fit, and I'm proud of all of that, but what else? And so that's kind of where I am with my life. And I feel like it's really a gift because my entire life I've been very obsessed with losing not just like 10 pounds, like right now it's 5 to 10 pounds, 7 to 10 pounds. But it's been like 50 pounds, 80 pounds, you know? So um, I feel like it's a gift to no longer have that literally weigh down my entire concept of what life is all about. So now I'm in a period of discovering what that is. I've always played it safe, and I've kind of asked God or whatever entity is out there to help guide me and to show me the way. And I've said, I'll listen. So show me the way, and I'll listen and I'll follow. And that's kind of where I am with my life right now. So I feel I'm happy. Oh, there's a lot of change in the air. I'm a little bit stressed out about, not stressed, but it's a time of transition right now. So anyway, hopefully this is one of several videos. I hope it uploads. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, please let me know, and maybe I'll record something that has like a topic and not just a random babbling. I also want to give a shout out, and a lot of this was inspired by a friend of mine that I've known for years named Robin, who's having surgery, not vertical sleeve, but she's having bypass. Yesterday actually was her surgery date. So I'm hoping she recovers well and she's able to realize a healthier life that makes her happy and makes her family happy and is healthy and rich and full and all that. So on that note, I'll see you next time, YouTube.